Motorists have been using their lights to warn other drivers about speed cameras for years, but now there's a man in Lincolnshire who's been fined for willfully obstructing a police officer in the course of her duty after he flashed his headlights at fellow road users.
Michael Thompson says he considered it his civic duty to warn others that there was a mobile speed camera in the road. He's going to appeal. Here to talk about this case is motoring journalist Quentin Wilson. And gosh, Quentin, I wonder what your view is of this.
Well, we should be balanced. I mean, Mr. Thompson has transgressed a highway code rule about not flashing lights to other motorists as a message or intimidating them. But I do think that this is a waste of taxpayers' money, waste of the police time, waste of the CPS time, and it's not a good day for road safety. I think it discredits the whole, decent stuff about road safety and slowing people down. I think it's a lump hammer applied to this, and I don't think it serves the public interest at all.
Some of the emails, I have to say they've come in on both sides. Those who say this is a good idea for this man to be prosecuted say he has broken the law. Yes, as it applies to the highway code, but he has technically broken the law, and therefore police need to do something about it.
Technically, yes, but this willful obstruction of the police, I think this is completely wrong. It's not. There's half a hundred other crimes that would be much better served being investigated by the police. And this is bonkers Britain. I think it is very worse than here. We're in 5 days into 2011 and we've got this dominating the airwaves. It's very, very sad, I think. I don't think he's committed any form of crime, and I certainly don't think he's obstructed the police. There's a legal precedent here I've got in front of me of a case in 2005 where the High Court threw such a thing out because the man warning could not have known that other cars were speeding. So I think it's a mess, and the CPS, if this had been me, I'd seen that file on my desk, I would have thought, hello, let's move on to something far more important.
Well, perhaps they're trying to send out a message there. I mean, Linda from Lewis says people who blatantly speed assume the law doesn't apply to them. They need to be caught out to take them down a peg. Warning other drivers about a speed trap is not only against the law, but stupid.
Why is it stupid? It's slowed them down. That's the irony. He's actually getting other drivers to slow down.
Let me put this to you. Say they were speeding, they were warned by the flashing light to slow down, and so they weren't caught when otherwise they would have been. Now, there's a speeding driver who would otherwise have been punished and might have learnt not to do it again in future.
That's a big philosophical debate, whether that actually happens or not. But my view is that if it slows another driver down and we haven't got all this prosecution, all this waste of time and money, then that's actually a benefit to society, not a negative.
Are you against speed cameras per se and
No.
the prosecutions that result from them?
Not at all. You have to have these machines to slow people down in the right places with the right data to confirm that they actually add to society and limit accidents and serious injuries. But the problem with this is, and this is the biggest tragedy about this whole debate on this matter, is that the road safety issue, speed cameras, police using radar guns and mobile cameras is hugely discredited by all this. This should never, ever have gone to court. And there'll be a lot of motorists out there, and the message boards are absolutely full of outrage that say this is just another example of revenue-raising and heavy-handed police tactics.
If you were not to flash your lights, but say raise your thumb or lower your thumb from the steering wheel as a sign or stick your arm out the window, I presume it's the same offence.
It
It is the same offence, and this is what this
obstructing,
lorry driver in 2005 did. Now, I would advise Mr. Thompson to appeal, because I think he'll get off. I think also here that justice has not been applied properly.
He says he's going to appeal. Let's read out a couple more emails. Thank you very much, Quentin. David says, if the flashing headlights cause the other drivers to slow down, the speed trap has done its job, QED. Something you'll agree with, I know.
One viewer says, we and others warn drivers in the same way to warn them of ponies and deer in the New Forest, because they've had two heavily damaged cars. What would the law advise we do? Well, they're not willfully obstructing a police officer in the course of their duty.
Yeah, but they're breaking the law, the highway code. You see, again, it's such a grey area. Let's not bother with it. Let's move on.
I think that's what we're going to do right now, Quentin.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on right now.
Thank you very much. Cheers, everyone.